This is Dan Tortora, one half of NeapoliDANS. Of course, the other half, Dan Villari, 2026 NFL draft prospect at the tight end position. He was at the Hula Bowl, he was at the Senior Bowl, and he was one of just 10 tight ends that were at the Senior Bowl, the only representative from Syracuse. And we are getting closer and closer to the NFL draft. He's spoken to all 32 NFL franchises. And today's episode of NeapoliDANS is going to bring us into what he would say to his younger self. So let's bring him in. Mr. Villari, how are you?
Very good. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. And so let's start with if you could tell little you like the best advice that you've learned up to this point, what would be that thing? Like if you could go back in time and sit with 5-year-old you, what would you say was the best advice you've gotten?
Best advice I've gotten. I don't know if I remember the best advice I've gotten. Just really how my dad raised me is was the best advice I've ever gotten. But
Okay.
I would tell myself to just honestly, I should have enjoyed it more. I should have been a little more relaxed. Um, I should have had no doubt in my mind at any time because things worked out throughout my life, but I'm reading this book about it's called As a Man Thinketh, and it's about like where your mind can really take you if you just like the whole world is basically a perception of what you think. And I think if I just thought more positive all the time, zero self-doubt, and I kind of just let it loose growing up, I think I would have accomplished a few more things, but obviously it all worked out, but that's something I'll tell my kids is just like work really hard and have fun. Let it go. Don't worry because it's all going to work out in the end if you do the right thing.
Well, I love that. And I think that's what pretty much everybody says the older they get is you got to stop caring what other people think. You got to stop worrying about stuff. So you go back in time in a DeLorean, it's Back to the Future, and you go back in the past. What age would you want to go back to and see yourself in? If you could pick any age of your life, where would you go and why?
I would go back to freshman year of high school because I was working really hard to be a good quarterback, but I just had a mental block. Like I was just wasn't fully confident in myself, but I had talent. Like everyone saw it in me, but they saw like that kind of timidness in me. I wasn't like a fierce competitor yet. And like I was competitive as hell, but I had a little blockage where if I threw a bad ball or made a bad read, it would bother me and it would bother me too much. And I kind of like with all due respect, should have let my nuts drag a little bit. Um, so I would go back to that time and just not really care to fail. Like I should have just let every ball go with complete confidence and just, not worry about throwing an interception or throwing a bad ball. I should have had more fun with it. I shouldn't have been as serious as I was.
Well, and you just, I mean, you've been really real in the Neapolitans, which I appreciate. And I think it speaks a lot to our relationship. You say how you feel. You have had different swear words or different things that you've used, phrases. Is it nice for you to have somebody in the media world that you can trust and have these conversations with? Because I feel like you feel safe on and off the air. At least that's my vibe from it.
Yeah, it feels nice. I mean, obviously the more comfortable I get, the more I just be myself and uh that's just dude, that's just how I was like not how I was raised. That's kind of how I was brought up, like playing football at 6 years old. Our team was very competitive. My coaches were cursing their mouths off like at us as 6 year olds, and I just grew up around like an intense uh profanity environment. Like it's just football. Like, on the football field, you're gonna have some bad language. And I really should work on it, but it's like, dude, it's a part of me. It's the grittiness in me. Like, um, it's just how a true football guy is, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and you're real. I mean,
Yeah.
our conversations are real. They're genuine on and off the air. And in this kind of venture through time, I'm going to flip it the other way. If you were to go somewhere in the future, where would you go and why?
Um, in the future, I want to be, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. And more importantly, I just want to be really close to the man above. And I want to dive into his word every day. And I want to just think healthy thoughts. I want to think godly thoughts. I want to um, see the world, see the good in everything, and just be positive. Like, I'm gonna make sure the people around me are the same way. That's what I've been diving into since I've been training here is just the mental side of my game because I think it's gonna elevate me tremendously. So just having that thought process and being the best tight end in the NFL.
You talk about, I asked you to go back to the past and to the future, and you brought them both back to your mental, which I
Yeah.
thought was huge because I can second that. There's a lot of times I would have just gone back and said, hey, just be you, man. And if people love it, great. If they hate it, great. Because I want you to be who you are. You, if you were to go to the future, what's something that you want to know? Like if God said, I can travel you to the future to see or hear anything about your life. What's something you'd want to know? And what's a place that you wouldn't want to go to? Like if he said you can go anywhere in the future, where would you go? Where wouldn't you go?
Uh, I want to know who my wife is, that'd be big. Um, but
Can I say ditto on that one? I'm gonna say ditto on that one. All
right, yeah.
right.
But I don't know, I really just I would just want to know if everything that I'm manifesting right now is happening, and I'd hope that that's the case. And I just want to be in a position where I can help others and be extremely influential and just be extremely like resourceful and when people have issues, when my family's going through stuff, they come to me and I'm able to fix problems and I'm able to just be that guy that people turn to for help. And yeah, yeah.
Where would you not want to go? What's something in the future you're like, don't show me, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, this is I was avoiding this one. I don't know. Where would I not want to go? Um hmm, I'd say just doing something I don't love for a living and being around negative people, uh, and just having that self-doubt sometimes, or just having negative thoughts, like that's something where that I don't want in my life.
So staying away from negativity, and you get to decide, what's going to happen there in your
Hmm.
future.
Hmm.
If you went back in the past and you could go back to any family memory, what family memory would you go back to and why?
Family memory. Jeez. Hmm. I mean, you could say it's hard to pinpoint just one, but like when we all visited Michigan, that was pretty cool. just like because my whole family, we all grew up just being huge football fans. And like, if you really think about it, my dad never thought in a million years that we'd be visiting the big house, looking around and just seeing the facility and talking to Jim Harbaugh. And um, it was probably a surreal moment for them and me, obviously. But I would say that. And just, my dad always being there. My dad always being at every game, no matter what. Um, we used to do this thing before my little league games where I'd be in my full pads. I would do a push up, jump up, catch the ball, throw it back to him, do a push up, jump up, and like that's how I'd warm up for little league games. And he was just always there for me to have a catch with me in the yard and my brother too. So just growing up and like just playing football for the love of it was awesome. In the street, at the park, with my brother and my dad, throwing the ball in the street like for hours and little stuff like that is what I think I'm very grateful for.
Dad had you doing burpees in Little League. I love it. So,
Yeah, he did. I wanted to do it. I was like, let's do something like let's get fired up. And he just said, all right, do a push up and get up and catch the ball. So that was funny.
let's go to the present. What
Yeah.
has been your favorite part of living in this moment as we both work on living in the moment?
My favorite part is just improving, self-improvement, self-reflection. Um, I've just been finding ways to get better in every aspect of my entire life. Um, and the mental side, just been reading a lot, learning a ton. Like you really learn a lot when you read. And I never like um I always had great discipline, but I think my discipline has skyrocketed because I sit down and I read at least 2 hours a day and every day. I'm doing it on Saturday, on Sunday. Like it's weird for me. Like it's just like, I never did that in the past, but uh I would say just the mental side of improvement and getting closer to my faith. I just feel better, man. I just feel better.
My final note for you, if you traveled back to when Jesus was walking the earth, what would you say to him if you had the opportunity to walk with him? Which you can every day of your life, which I know you know that. But if we went back to he's physically here, he's walking on the sand somewhere, and you had an opportunity to just have one-on-one time, what what would you want to say to him? What would that conversation be like?
Uh, I would just say thank you. Like I thank him every day for my life and the people you put into my life and the places you brought me. I know it's all because of you and just the human that you created, the heart you placed in me. I always thank him for the heart he gave me because I know I wouldn't be anywhere close to here without the heart and the passion. So just thanking him for those things and just ask him like, how do I be like you? How do I get better? Um, I'm a very self-reflective dude, so I would just want to know how I can get better.
Well, Mr. Villari, in this edition of NeapoliDANS here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora exclusively inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, you've answered my past, present, and future questions. Now I'm going to flip the script because I think it's good for the NFL to see how your mind works. You can ask me one past, one present, and one future oriented question. Start with your question to me about the past.
Um, I would say, what did you always desire in the past? Like, what did you desire to be?
That's what I'm doing.
Where
You
you
know,
going?
my vision was to be a broadcaster. It was to work on music, which I'm doing more of. It was to get involved in movies, which I've been in a couple of them now, and to act, which I've gotten to do. I get to play Adam and Adam and Eve, which was nuts. The entire act was me speaking by myself on stage for Act One, and I think I spoke 140 times in that play, which was wild. I had to remember Lord knows how many lines, and
Mm,
I don't know. I think it's just making my world small and being that person that's willing to get up on a stage for God with a million people watching and listening and not being afraid. What is your present question for me?
takes a lot. Takes a lot of guts.
Yeah,
Um,
no fear though.
yeah. Present, um, what are you looking to improve the most right now in your life?
Honestly, it's my mental. Reading the Bible more, having faith in myself and in God, true faith, and not worrying when something is going well, letting it just enjoying the moment, being happy, not forcing anything, and just knowing that being myself is good enough for those that are meant to be in my life. And so just taking a deep breath and being myself and
Mm,
knowing that that's what God wants me to do. That's what's worked for over 40 years. And to just trust in that in the places where I am most vulnerable and know that I'm going to be all right because being me is good. I put
mm,
God first. I know what I can bring to the table and to not think about it so much and just let it just be me. Let it just flow from me. And if I think something, if I feel something, to share it and to know that the right people are going to pick up what I'm putting down.
I like that last thing you said because, guys like us, sometimes it's never enough. And when things are going well, you worry. You still worry. Sometimes worse than if things are going bad because you're like, what's gonna go bad next? And uh, it's just never enough. You want everything to be perfect, but um, and then future. Hmm. What do you see your life looking like in 10 years?
I've sang publicly. I've written my first script and, well, I've written a script of a movie I'm creating. My company has traveled me to more places, gotten me to do more things, and helped me to reach more people like yourself. And most importantly, I hope I'm a husband to a woman that leaves me without any want because I have it. And then in some way, shape, or form, God helps make me a father, and however that is, but that He gives me a family and an opportunity to lead, to truly be loved as deeply as I love, as
Hmm.
completely as I love, as consistently as I love, and that I finally get to share my life with somebody because I love everything I have, and my heart's got a big old piece wanting to give to somebody else, and I hope that he'll find me the right person who fits my piece like a puzzle.
Awesome. The kids is what I wanted to hear.
So,
You
with
gotta
that be,
breathe.
I know Italians, we gotta. So that
Yep.
being said, Mr. Villari, we are always happy to be here with NeapoliDANS, taking a trip through the past, present, and future. And I'll look forward to talking with you soon.
Sounds good, boss.
Amen.